No, I know. Hey, do me a favor and cut them lights down and hand me them papers over there. I mean, oh my God, do. Somebody please say it ain't so. Thank y'all for tuning in to Docs Daily, where you get highly classified documentations from your boy, Sean Blazy. Ha 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 ha. But ain't nothing funny though. Now, if you thinking I'm about to sit up here and say that Bun B put a gun to Pimp C, or he poisoned him, or he drugged him, and that's the reason why Pimp C is no longer here, you got me sadly mistaken. That's not what this video is about. But like I say in all my videos, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And there's more than one way to sacrifice a person. By not having somebody's back is a way of sacrificing somebody. By not taking up for somebody is a way of sacrificing somebody. By not standing in unity with somebody is like sacrificing somebody. Because if it was two members that felt a certain way about something, you can't take both of them out. You can't erase the whole UGK. But if there's one of them standing alone and ain't really got no backup against the whole entertainment industry, then he's disposable. And the person that's supposed to be riding with you ain't riding with you, then anybody can go against you. And unfortunately, that's the case when it comes to Bun B and Pimp C. Now, if y'all seen Bun B recently, he's very articulate. He not that same gangster that he was during them UGK days. He not the same person that he was when Pimp C was alive. And that's perfectly fine because people can't stay the same forever. But you was supposed to be trill. And if you're going to be down with somebody, you got to be all the way down with him. How you a part of UGK, the Underground Canes, the trillest rap group in hip hop history, but your partner beefing with somebody and you ain't got beef with them too? You not riding for the team? We gonna get into all that, but Pimp C, rest in peace, Bun B, if you listening, man, we gotta have this conversation because loyalty is at question here. And a lot of y'all be friends with people in the same group or same team, and you ain't even on their side like that. You're not willing to ride like that. Now, it'd be different if they were some Christian rappers and Pimp C had some beef, or Pimp C felt a certain type of way about certain subjects, and Bun B. Matter of fact, that wouldn't even make sense if there was a Christian group. How you gonna be in a group with a Christian and you a Muslim? What the hell is y'all doing? But we're about to get to the bottom of that. Best believe I'm about to explain everything. We're about to get into this news. But before we do that, I'm going to need y'all to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that notification button, y'all. This is a full documentary, so y'all got to watch it all the way through if you want to get all the vital information. And hit that Cash App, too. $ Sean Blaze Docs. Got so much love for y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this documentary, man.
On the phone, they said they'd tell me in person, see security when I get there. And he went in there and saw Pimp C body. Pimp C was still in there. He said Pimp C was like he was laying down like he was praying. And but it was blood all over the bed, like he threw it up, but they thought he had been shot in the head. You know, they didn't know what the hell happened because there was blood all over the bed, but he was kneeled down like he had been praying. And the candles had been burnt all the way down. So they knew he had probably been dead for like a day or something because he always lit these candles to help him sleep. Because I think he had sleep apnea, so he always lit these big, tall candles. And well, that candle would be burnt all the way down, they were like, he must have been dead for a while. So,
okay, that was your boy, DJ Paul, from 3 6 Mafia, explaining what happened with Pimp C. Because he was working with Pimp C before he had passed. And he said that when they walked up in the hotel room, it was blood everywhere. So they thought, and this ain't no disrespect. I'm just relaying what's going on here because we're about to go deeper. Saying there was blood everywhere. It looked like it was a sacrifice. But a lot of people is arguing that he OD'd on codeine. It was the lean. He was overweight. He was obese. That's the reason why he passed away. But the people closest to him is saying that it couldn't have been that because the scene was the scene of a murder scene. Now, this is what's going on in the news. Been going on in the news, but the closest people to him was saying, no, that's not the case. It was the lean that got him. Now, I need y'all to hear this one more time before we move on.
there. Tell me in person, see security when I get there. And he went in there and saw Pimp C body. Pimp C was still in there. He said Pimp C was like he was laying down like he was praying. And but it was blood all over the bed, like he threw it up, but they thought he had been shot in the head. You know, they didn't know what the hell happened because there was blood all over the bed, but he was kneeled down like he had been praying. And the candles had been burnt all the way down. So they knew he had probably been dead for like a day or something because he always lit these candles to help him sleep. Because I think he had sleep apnea, so he always lit these big, tall candles. And well, that candle would be burnt all the way down. They were like, he must have been dead for a while. So,
classic Cokes.
Okay. That was my man explaining what was going on with Pimp C. He had sleep apnea, so, you know, he needed some candles to help him sleep. They said when they found him in there, the candles was burnt all the way down. So he was in there for a while. Rest in peace to Pimp C, brother. You in a better place now, but we got to have this discussion because we still here and we got to learn from the past. Now I want y'all to hear what Bun B had to say about the situation of Pimp C passing.
When you heard the news about Pimp C passing, how bad did it hit you?
The first call came from a friend of mine named Albie. He called us and said that he was on, this was back when people were on message boards and shit like that. And I think he was on like a Black Planet message board or something. And he was like, somebody typed that Pimp C had just died in a hotel in LA. And so I was like, that can't be. You know what I'm saying? I would have heard something about that. So I called his mom and asked her, had she talked to him? And for the first time in his life, in our career, he did not call her at night. He always called his mom before he went to bed. That was the only night he never called her. And then we got the call, the confirmation, and I lost it, man. I'll be honest. I lost it. I get emotional now thinking about it. It was probably the most life-altering moment I've ever had.
Mind you, now Bun B, like I said earlier, people change. You know, you could have been a trap rapper your whole life, and now that you older, you a different person. But who is this guy? Where is Bun B? Because this ain't Bun. It don't even sound like Bun. And how can you hear about your best friend passing through another dude that saw it on the website? You wasn't close with nobody that was close to the pimp? Run that back a little bit.
LA. And so I was like, that can't be. You know what I'm saying? I would have heard something about that. So I called his mom and asked her, had she talked to him? And for the first time in his life, in our career, he did not call her at night. He always called his mom before he went to bed. That was the only night he never called her. And then we got the call, the confirmation, and I lost it, man. I'll be honest. I lost it. I get emotional now thinking about it. It was probably the most life-altering moment I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, you know, there was nothing that would have led up to that, right? It was just very kind of the moment kind of thing. And I don't think I'd ever had anybody that was that close to me. I mean, I had aunts and uncles and, you know, friends and classmates, but nobody that I had that close of a relationship with died. And so it was very, very hard to process. And when the radio station called to see if I wanted to talk about it, I was in tears when they called. And I did pretty much the whole interview crying, you know, but I thought it was important for young Black men to see that it's okay to mourn, it's okay to cry, you don't have to be tough through those moments, because holding those emotions in is kind of what fucks you up for real later. And then the one...
And I get that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let it out. But if you're a grown-ass man, I wouldn't advise you to be crying all on the radio. At least try to hold it together until you get off the phone, or hang up before you start crying. Now, this is the same man that went on Drink Champs and boo-hoo crying in front of Noriega and everybody trying to have a good time. He blowing people vibes. But his best friend, well, y'all about to see, his buddy Pimp C had passed away, and he was emotional about that.
Call that I got that really kind of helped me work through it was from RZA. And I had never met RZA before. I'd never talked to RZA. I still to this day have no idea how he got my phone number, but he had just lost old Dirty prior to that. And so he just called me to, to give his condolences and kind of talk about, because Dirty was RZA's cousin. So they had a very, he had known him all his life.
And best believe we're going to do that video next, sometime soon, about the RZA and the whole Wu-Tang Clan, how they did old Dirty. But we're going to save that for another time.
And so he understood the dynamic that Pimp and I had, and just really kind of talked to me for probably about 20 minutes, just about, dealing with grief and all that kind of shit, man. And that really helped me in that moment.
Did they announce the cause of death at the end?
Not really. It was a complication of the drugs, but also sleep apnea. Pimp had gained a lot of weight while he was in prison because he didn't really have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't a push-up kind of guy. So like a lot of guys come out of prison because, they got to get in shape and be, quick and be ready to handle anything that might happen. Pimp didn't really have those issues in prison because everybody loved him. So he was just in there just kind of eating. He was working in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? He had money in his book.
Hold on, y'all. Everybody is in agreement that it's some foul play going on in this situation. Bun B got every other excuse in the book. Vlad asked him, did they announce the cause of death? No, not really, but it was just sleep apnea and he gained a whole bunch of weight. He was in prison. He was eating good and he really didn't have to do anything in there. So he kind of ballooned while he was in jail. And that's the reason why he passed away. It was the drugs and bruh, this is Pimp C we talking about. This is his legacy. This is Sweet Jones. He ain't OD on no drugs or no lean. He had himself together better than that. And if DJ Paul know about the room being the way it was, and you heard through the gray, you goddamn Bun B, you heard stories about what it was going on in that room. Oh, it was he gained so much weight, he was just a fat ass. Is he serious?
That might happen. Pimp didn't really have those issues in prison.
Y'all got to see his face real quick.
Because, they got to get in shape and be, quick and be ready to handle anything that might happen. Pimp didn't really have.
Y'all got to see his face, man. Because I don't want to get a copyrighted now, but this whole time he's just smiling while he's talking about this. As if he got a fucking Happy Meal or something. He's just so happy talking about this.
He was in prison because everybody loved him. So he was just in there just kind of eating. He was working in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? He had money on his books. You know what I'm saying? People taking care of him. So, he came out. Pimp probably went in maybe an XL and came out like a 3X. You know what I'm saying? And came home. Obviously, wasn't working out. And so he had gained a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying, in that downtime. And that was when he died, Pimp was probably a 4X.
Yeah. How many times do we have to say Pimp C was overweight? You was overweight too. And you ain't friggin' die in your sleep, or you ain't go out like that. There's plenty of fat people in hip hop. He keep on with he gained the weight and he was overweight and he went from a 1X to a 3X.
Have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And he out, dealing with grief and all that kind of shit, man. And that really helped me in that moment.
Did they announce the cause of death at the end?
Not really. It was a complication of the drugs, but also.
How that sound? Did they announce the cause of death? Not really, but it was a complication of the drugs. Now you putting stuff on Pimp. Now he just OD'd on drugs. Come on, Bun. That ain't trill.
Announce the cause of death at the end?
Not really. It was a complication of the drugs, but also sleep apnea. Pimp had gained a lot of weight while he was in prison because he didn't really have to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't a push-up kind of guy. So like a lot of guys come out of prison because, they got to get in shape and be, quick and be ready to handle anything that might happen. Pimp didn't really have those issues in prison because everybody loved him. So he was just in there just kind of eating. He was working in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? He had money on his books. You know what I'm saying? People taking care of him. So, he came out. Pimp probably went in maybe an XL and came out like a 3X.
And when he came home, he made a whole album, did tours, radio interviews. He was home for some years before he passed. You make it seem like he just came home and dropped dead because he was overweight.
You know what I'm saying? And came home, obviously wasn't working out. And so he had gained a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying, in that downtime. And that was a big, when he died, Pimp was probably a 4X.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's like when you look at, we talked about DJ Screw, dying from lean. And then, of course, you have Pimp C, which, it seems like it was related to his passing. And then you look at 2018, you have Fredo Santana dying at 27. It's one of those things. And you talked about that you used to drink it, but you quit.
Yeah, I quit before Pimp passed. So I didn't have that to deal with when he passed away. I started having stomach issues and I just dropped it. I usually did everything first and quit everything first. So I was smoking fry before a lot of dudes were really smoking fry. I quit before it became a thing. I was popping pills. I took my first ecstasy MDMA pill in like 95. So by the time ecstasy became popular, I was done with that.
So he going on and on. I'm Mr. Clean. It was Pimp. He was the bad guy. He was the gangster. He was the wrong one. Pimp, he was on the wrong side of the tracks. That's not me, though. And the reason why I titled this video, Did Bun B Sacrifice Pimp C for the music industry, is because in order to be a part of the music industry, you got to talk just like how Bun is talking now. Non-offensive. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, man, people get older and people change their lives, but bruh, I thought he was trill. I know Pimp C was trill, but let's continue on, man, because I can go on and on. Now, y'all heard what DJ Paul had to say about the passing. Now y'all heard what Bun B had to say about Pimp C's passing. Now let's listen to what Pimp C's mama had to say about his passing.
Stories. Conflicting stories about his death, basically some untruth about the passing of your son. And so we need the audience to understand that this is her son, not Pimp C. You understand? This is Mama West's son. And she knows what happened. And I know it's got to be heartbreaking to you and a little frustrating on top of that to have the mistruth out about the passing of your son. So I want to give you the opportunity to clear it up and tell our audience exactly what happened.
Okay. And I really and truly thank you for this wonderful opportunity to be able to say what I really want to say. Number one, I must tell you, I smile a lot because this is life, and you're not going to get anywhere going around with a frown on your face.
Yes, ma'am.
But I miss my child. She was my only child. Not my only son, but my only child. And I miss him like air. But by the same token, I also am totally committed to carrying on his legacy. There have been so many, as you said, horrible stories, untruths, and inconsistencies. Now, what I'm going to say now does not come from me, but from the head coroner, whom I talked to when the word first came out about the determination of his death. And the man told me that they really did not know for sure. But number one, most and foremost, she did not die of an illegal drug overdose.
Okay, we want to get that clear.
Okay, hold on. We got to stop it right there for a second. If Pimp C's mama is out here speaking her truth and telling the world it was not a drug overdose, that's not how my baby went out. He ain't go out like that. It ain't have nothing to do with no drugs. But then you got Bun B on every radio station all across the world. People listen to him because he's a star and he's been featured on albums or whatnot. And he's telling everybody it was drugs, it was weight, he was fat, he was out of shape and everything else.
It was about Pimp C passing. How bad did it hit you?
The first, that was the only night he never called her. And then,
so you know that Pimp C ain't called his mama that night. So you know you have a relationship with his mother. So if she feel like that ain't the way he passed, why do you still go along with this narrative?
I lost it. I get emotional. It was, you know, there was nothing that would have led up to that, right? It was just very kind of the moment kind of thing. And I don't think I'd ever had anybody that was that close to me. I mean, I had aunts and.
He was shocked that Pimp C passed because there was nothing that was leading up to him passing. But you talking about when he got out of jail, he was fat, he was obese. Look, I can go on and on. Let's get back to Pimp C's mama.
He did not.
Pimp C did.
But number one, most and foremost, C did not die of an illegal drug overdose.
Okay, we want to get that clear.
He did not.
Pimp C did not die of a drug overdose.
No. He did. The coroner told me that there was not enough of anything in his system to have killed him. So he did not die of an illegal drug overdose. He also did not die by his own hand. I've heard that one too.
That's real. It wasn't no drugs and he ain't commit suicide. However they trying to cut it, however they trying to say it, everybody got 1,000,001 excuses but the obvious. Now me, I don't know. And I'm not trying to convince y'all of nothing. And this ain't about who pulled the trigger or who poisoned him or nothing. I'm not trying to put that on Bun B. I'm saying you ain't had this man back in nothing, not even in death, from what we see. When he was going at certain individuals, you was on songs with them certain individuals. When he was speaking his truth, you ain't had nothing to say about what the pimp had to say. Now that he gone, you going along with the narrative everybody else going along with. Even if that's what you believe, that he died from lean and he was obese, do that man legacy some justice. Let his memory be better than that. Even if you sincerely feel like that's the case. But I'm going to show y'all something, man. Because Pimp C was writing letters when he was in jail to his mama, the woman that you just heard. And he had some things to say about Bun B. And I need y'all to hear this, man. Because when he was in jail and Bun B was out there was with those free Pimp C shirts on, that was all for show, according to the homie Pimp C. Listen, y'all.
I could be home in as little as 10 months. We still owe Jive one record. Bun is signed to rap a lot as a solo artist. As far as I know, he don't even get at me much. Matter of fact, not at all. And I ain't mad at him. I ain't tripping. Just hurt. See right there? Just hurt.
Now, this is a letter Pimp C wrote when he was in jail, when he was down and he was trying to get back on his feet. He didn't even know if Bun had a solo deal or not. We supposed to be in a group. I don't know what's going on. You out here making all this money. We supposed to be down. We supposed to be riding together. I thought we was business partners. He don't even get at me. I'm in here. He out here with these free Pimp C t-shirts on all day. Free to pimp. But you ain't even letting this man know what's going on? Hold on.
All I know is that they may want you to think, but I can get at them. Then he say, up on me soon. March 1st, 2005 is the date I heard. We have no paperwork. In other words, no contract. In some ways, that's a good thing, and in other ways, it's a bad thing. All I know is that I'm going to do what you tell me to do on my return. I could be home in as little as 10 months. We still owe Jive one record. Bun is signed to rap a lot as a solo artist. As far as I know, he don't even get at me much. Matter of fact, not at all. And I ain't mad at him. I ain't tripping. Just hurt. See right there? Just hurt.
That hurt that man when he was in jail. And I know Pimp C is gone and everything, and y'all thinking this is old news, but it's important to remember Pimp C because you ain't got that many real people left, man. If any. I want to show y'all a real dude that regardless of how he felt, he stood by how he felt. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. That's what I love about Pimp C. Because everything's watered down. People so sensitive. Can you imagine if Pimp C was still alive saying what he was saying? It'd be a lot of hurt feelings. People would be out here crying their eyes out. And y'all wonder why his passing is so sketchy, because they don't want people like that out there speaking that truth. And that's why I risk my life to give you all these documentations. And that's why I feel like Pimp C is so important to be on this channel. Because he was trill, but everybody that was around him wasn't keeping it trill with him. Listen at this, y'all.
And Bun, niggas already know what's up with you, bro. Niggas already know. I don't even have to go into it with you. I don't even have to do it with you, nigga. I could have been on Vlad Couch, on radio stations, or doing any kind of interviews, letting niggas know what was really happening with you and how fraud you was and how you ain't even. I don't even have to do this. The public can check with Pimp Children, and Pimp Children will tell them about you, nigga, and you know I ain't lying. All they got to do is read the book. The book that Julia Beverly wrote about Pimp. Read it. That's when everybody seen that you ain't trill. You ain't nothing. The king of the trillers in the mausoleum in Port Arthur. I'm just sick of this shit, man. And this shit finna get worse before it get better. Cause I ain't being quiet no more. That's the last song you hoe ass niggas gonna steal for me.
Now, this brother right here was Pimp C's protege. And he was around the whole time. Dude by the name of 17th Hog. And the thing is, you got this dude out here named Big Crit. Everybody love Big Crit, but Big Crit is ripping off Pimp C. And Bun B is cool with that. Like, yeah, you can rip off Pimp. Shouldn't you be offended by that? If I'm in a group with somebody and there's somebody else out there sounding just like my homie that just passed, I'm gonna have to check you, bro. You can't be rapping and sounding like my dude. But Bun B ain't have a problem with that. Now y'all need to see something, because I'm not trying to pick on Bun B, but my issue with Bun B is all them raps, all them lyrics that you was spitting, you gotta at least live up to some of that, because your fans is expecting the trill to be trill. He had plenty of illable, syllable, willable, gillable, illable, willable, illable, rhyming for days. But was any of that facts? Now y'all need to hear from the pimp mouth while he's sitting next to Bun B. This is an interesting story that Pimp C gonna share.
Nigga used to be my tutor in school, man.
Hold on, y'all.
I was one of them niggas that worked real hard at school, but leave all the books.
He said, I'm gonna let it play, but he said Bun B used to be his tutor in school. And Bun B sitting right there. Listen.
Nigga used to be my tutor in school, man. I was one of them niggas that work real hard at school, but leave all the books in the locker when I go home. And he was one of these niggas that he did all his work. He made A's and shit and was a smart motherfucker. So we got to a point where, man, I was failing my math and shit. But we was rapping, but he was in advanced classes and I was failing my math. But now we trying to rap. And I can remember one night in particular, we sitting in front of this dope house and make no mistake, we only hustle to go to the studio to do this rap shit. We sitting outside this dope house on an abandoned car, a burn up ass car, and this nigga helped me with my math homework. What was it, algebra or something?
That was algebra 2.
Trigger, some old
algebra
shit.
2 / trigonometry. You know, algebra 2 first semester.
Yo, we sitting out on the car, and it.
So Bun B was in the advanced classes, and that's great. You know, very intelligent brother. I'm not knocking him for that. But Pimp C, he said he wasn't into them books and stuff like that. Bun B was helping him do his homework outside the trap house. So you're like, damn, I'm trying to get this money, but I'm also trying to do well in school, bruh. What is it, algebra? And Bun B like, yes, algebra, advanced math and science and mathematicians. Pimp C like, yeah, whatever that shit is, man. He was my tutor in school. He used to do my homework for me. He trilled, this my homie, but man, I don't know if I would have ever graduated if it wasn't for his ass. Listen.
That was
dope house on an abandoned car, a burn up ass car, and this nigga helped me with my math homework. What was it, algebra or something?
That was algebra 2.
Trigger, some old
algebra
shit.
Algebra 2 / trigonometry. You know, algebra 2 first semester.
Yo, we sitting out on the car, and it.
Bun B look embarrassed. He's like, oh my gosh, she's asking me about math. It's algebra, second calculus, 2-point pi. Like, continue on.
Tooting me, the street light, we got the street light out there, and this nigga tooting me, we doing homework, and Dolphin walking up, and Dolphin walk up and pop the case, ask, do we want to buy that Derringer? He say, man, get the fuck away from us, we don't want nothing but money. And that motherfucker say, nigga, what kind of dope men do homework? You know, so this nigga.
Hold on, y'all. He said the dope fiend tried to sell him a pistol. Look, man, we only want that money. Dope fiend looked down at the paper, saw Bun B with the pen in his hand. What type of dope man do homework? What the fuck y'all out here doing? I thought y'all was some thugs. Listen at this, man.
Asked, do we want to buy that Derringer? He say, man, get the fuck away from us. We don't want nothing but money. And that motherfucker say, nigga, what kind of dope men do homework? You know, so this nigga did all he could do to keep me in school. And while he was there, I was all right. It's when he graduated and left me, and then I was there by myself that I was on some fuck school shit. This nigga steady hitting my beeper and called me like.
Bun B embarrassed. He like, man, I was doing good in school when he was there because he was doing all my homework. When he left, that's when I started doing bad. Bun B like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that in front of the world. Like, no, I'm supposed to be Trill too.
Graduated and left me, and then I was there by myself that I was on some fuck school shit. This nigga steady hitting my beeper and called me like, you went to school today? And I'm like, hell nah, nigga, I fuck school. He in Houston, I'm like, nigga, you ain't here now, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? But I said that to say this, that while I was gone, I did get my GED, and I did that for a couple of reasons. For one reason is that I needed this shit to look good for parole. For two, my mom and my grandmother and my family wanted me to do it. And for three, this nigga was hurt when I dropped out, man. If he had his way, I would have stayed in school. But I mean, like, we put this record out. Man, I'm 16 years old. We doing shows 30.
He said Bun B was hurt when he dropped out of school. Like, oh my gosh, how can you do that? You're not going to graduate, pimp? Like, no. Open up, Bun. Bun, quit. Open up the door, man. It's just algebra. It's more than algebra. It's calculus. Man, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get my GED when I go to jail, man. Pimp, that's not good enough.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we really wasn't no serious money. I think we get $500 a show. But to a little nigga, man, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man, I'm not going to school Monday. Mm-hmm. And you know, so this nigga did all he could to steer me the right way, you know. But hey, man, I wasn't trying to hear that shit. In the streets, this was my older brother. In the studio, I was his older brother. No, I wasn't trying to hear that shit. This nigga was my tutor, man. This nigga tried to steer me right, man. I wasn't trying to hear that shit. No, but shit, everything you was telling me was right, homie. It was right, man. I appreciate it too, man. Nigga always told me the truth, you know. That's real shit. That ain't in no bio right there.
Why Bun look so insecure about himself? He giving you I don't know if he throwing shade. I don't know if he really trying to expose this man. And ain't nothing wrong with being educated, but I'm the illable, willable killer that a dealer stiller will willer like a real gorilla. And I kill her when I deal her to sell them drug the plug when you rubber fub with the what you was, nigga, for in the club. Got the big old AK niggas a late when I slay, don't play, but blaze for the table every time I blaze. With the illables, killables, willables, nigga, you was doing his homework. Hold on.
Right, homie. It was right, man. I appreciate it too, man. Nigga always told me the truth, you know. That's real shit. That ain't in no bio right there.
That's the only reason this group, you know, people, I won't even say a group. It's the only reason two men can really call themselves friends or partners or homies. Can't start with lies, you can't build on lies, and you know what I'm saying? When it's all over, you know what I'm saying? Can't be no lies a part of it. Everything between me and him, regardless of how we may deal with everybody else, I'm 100 with him. He 100 with me. That's the only way we gonna make it. And from the beginning, it's always been we. Ain't never been.
And what?
Okay, now that's the Bun B I remember. This mother, I don't know who this is.
And, you know, friends and classmates, but nobody that I had that close of a relationship with died. And so it was very, very hard to process. And when the radio station called to see if I wanted to talk about it, I was in tears when they called. And I did pretty much the whole interview crying, you know, but I thought it was important for young black men to see that it's okay to mourn, it's okay to cry, you don't have to be tough through those moments because...
What, man, did they get him? What happened to Bun B? Because Pimp C was going on and on and on about the cupcakes in the music industry. About how them boys in Atlanta like them boys, and y'all boys be laid around with them boys. And then Bun B do a 360 like this? Do the B stand for booty? Booty buns. And I ain't trying to be funny, but this ain't the same dude right here.
Bun, I'm gonna say this too. These niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool.
Listen, y'all.
From the beginning, it's always been we. Ain't never been.
And watch this, Bun. I'm gonna say this too. These niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes, pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you niggas out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. Nigga, if you in a room naked with some other niggas and some broad, them niggas looking at your ass. And if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit, me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. Know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, Bun, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi shit out here, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas, they flip-floppy, they pitching and they catching with these boys, and they doing all this. So, and if you gay, that's cool, but be gay and come on out and be that. Don't be in front of us and acting like a straight-up G, and then you...
Is it just me, or is Pimp C throwing shade at this man the whole interview? Because I could swear Bun he had something to say. He's like, oh, let me get on that. Nah, bro, let me say this too. I ain't never been naked with this man. We ain't never seen each other naked. We ain't never did no fruity booty type of stuff. And the reason why I had to say that is because people be acting like they real when they around real dudes, but when they around other people, they be flip-flopping and booty popping and all that time. I ain't, just to let y'all know, I ain't with that. And look, look at Bun B's face. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about that. Why he looking like that? It seems to me, and I could be wrong, and this is dangerous, I know, but it seemed like he pulling this man card. He's sunning him on the low. He's sitting there taking it too. That's just the way I see it. I could be wrong.
Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes, pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you niggas out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. Nigga, if you in a room naked with some other niggas and some broad, them niggas looking at your ass. And if that shit is gay, and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. Know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, Bun, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi shit out here, man. You know what I'm saying? These niggas that flip-floppy, they pitching and they catching with these boys, and they doing all this. So, and if you gay, that's cool, but be gay and come on out and be that. Don't be in front of us and acting like a straight-up G, and then you get over here and you letting these boys bust up your back. Because, you know, it gonna come to the light. And yeah, I want to put that out there, man. This man ain't never seen me naked. I ain't never seen him naked. We don't desire to do no shit like that. We ain't going out like that. And we were wild young teenagers. And when we
before that X, you know, that X, a lot of that shit fucking with a lot of these boys' heads. I don't know. Maybe they using X as an excuse to open them doors that they really want to open. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Wheelock?
But, you know.
Wheelock. Yes, sir. Say, man, that nigga right there gave me that XP that day, man. You fucked me up, wee, man.
So y'all ain't got no crazy tour stories that happened when you used to be on the road. Nothing.
That is beyond crazy, yo. I don't know how to take it, man. I don't know why Pimp C felt the need to say that with Bun right there. Nobody asked him about nothing like that. Nobody inclined nothing. He just felt the need to get that off his chest real quick. Like, whatever you heard, it ain't never been me and him. You know, but we gonna continue on. I need y'all to listen at this and listen, y'all.
I 1079 ATL. I know y'all done heard about all the stuff in the Ozone magazine. You know what I'm saying? Asking about Pimp C. What's he talking about? Is he talking about the ATL? Pimp C. We got Pimp C on the phone right now. Pimp C.
Yeah, what's up?
What up, Pimp C? Talk to me, homeboy. What's going on with this stuff in the Ozone magazine, man? A-Town's kind of furious.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
Okay, let me tell you what the A-Town's saying. The A-Town's basically saying, you know, why they think you dissing Atlanta. Talking about Atlanta's not the South.
Okay, well, first of all, listen to this. I used to live in Atlanta from 96 till 2001. Okay?
All right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this. When I get off the airplane in Atlanta, what time is it?
It's whatever time it is out here, homie.
It's Eastern Standard Time.
But it's still on the south side of the map.
Okay, but it's Eastern Standard Time, ain't it?
On the south side of the map, yeah.
Correct. Answer my question. Is it Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, it is on the south side of the map.
All right. Well, after saying that, listen to this. All my statements are my statements. That's how.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to use the bathroom real quick, but I'm back. Yeah, let me run that back.
1079 ATL. I know y'all done heard about all the stuff in the Ozone magazine. You know what I'm saying? Asking about Pimp C. What's he talking about? Is he talking about the ATL? Pimp C. We got Pimp C on the phone right now. Pimp C.
Yeah, what's up?
What up, Pimp C? Talk to me, homeboy. What's going on with this stuff in the Ozone?
Now, this is what sparked everything. I wanted to say that, but I had to make it run real quick. This is what sparked a lot of controversy when Pimp C got on this radio interview right here and started going at all these dudes in the music industry in Atlanta, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. You ain't supposed to talk about this type of stuff. And mind you, he's saying, you know, Bun is cool with these dudes. He do records with these dudes, but I don't. And I don't like what's going on out there. Bun B ain't never came out and agreed with none of that. He never said, you know what, Pimp C was right. Or we UGK and we feel the same way. And that's the reason why I say sacrifice. You can sacrifice somebody and they still alive. If you're not riding with them and you throw them to the wolves and you're not backing them, I don't care what the situation is. When you was in elementary school, if you had a best friend and you got some beef with somebody else, look, well, you know, I ain't got no beef with you per se, but since this is my best friend, I'm riding with him on this one. And y'all claim to be family, regardless of how he feel or how you feel. If y'all a team, you just got to ride for the team. Now, like I said, if you weren't talking that trill and all that gangster shit, then I wouldn't feel so strongly about this. But you were supposed to be a big time everything. Dope boy, killer, gorilla, the illable. But Bun B, you ain't live up to none of that. Because when he was calling these people out, why you ain't calling nobody out? If y'all in the same group. Let me shut up. Let's get back to this.
Man, A-Town is kind of furious.
You tell me how you took it, I'm going to tell you what I meant.
Okay, let me tell you what the A-Town's saying. The A-Town's basically saying, you know, why you they think you dissing Atlanta. Talking about Atlanta's not the South.
Okay, well, first of all, listen to this. I used to live in Atlanta from 96 till 2001. Okay?
All right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this. When I get off the airplane in Atlanta, what time is it?
It's whatever time it is out here, homie.
It's Eastern Standard Time.
But it's still on the south side of the map.
Okay, but it's Eastern Standard Time, ain't it?
On the south side of the map, yeah.
Answer my question. Is it Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah, it is on the south side of the map.
All right. Well, after saying that, listen to this. All my statements are my statements. That's how I feel. And feelings is like booty holes. Anybody can have their own feelings. That's my feelings. That ain't got nothing to do with Bun B. Okay, that's the first thing. So let's separate Pimp C statements from UGK and Bun B. That's the first thing we got to do.
All right. Okay.
Next thing we got to do is this. You got some people over there that feel a certain way that I might not like how they feel. But that's how I feel. If you want to get mad at me for the way I feel, then go and get mad at me. And a fight go with that. You feel?
See that, man? Pimp C knew that he was on his own. And if you're going to stand up and man up and make a stance and speak your truth and be by it, you got to cut Bun off of this. Leave him out of it. Because I know he don't want none of this smoke right here. Matter of fact, leave UGK out of it. I'm all alone. If I got to go to war for how I feel, I got to go to war for how I feel. It's just me here. But when you are part of a group, y'all supposed to share the same message or have the same viewpoints or the same ideas. That's like Dead Prez, one of them being a conscious rapper and the other one is a bling bling rapper. It don't work like that. So what was the separation?
But and the next thing is this. Say, man, I'm from Texas, man. I'm from the game. Them prices that them boys talking about, man, them boys ain't got no prices like that in no Atlanta. And if you do, right now, Brian son, where my people at, we'll buy it and flush it down the toilet. We don't support drugs. But show it to me, man, because I know who had on backpacks. I know where they pants they rolled up in Timberland boots in 1998, and they acting like they big-time drug dealers. Oh.
Hold on. Let's talk about what he's saying right fast. I'm gonna say this. For Bun to be standing with these dudes, and I'm not trying to make this a Pimp C versus Bun B situation, but I don't know how else to cut it. And the dude he talking about with the Timberlands and the backpack in 95 is Young Jeezy. He's saying he was a hip hopper. And a lot of people in Atlanta, let me explain something to y'all real quick, man. 90% of these rappers that's claiming they from Atlanta, not even from Atlanta. Some of your favorite Atlanta artists, not even from Atlanta. They don't even have no origins in Atlanta. So back in the day when New York was popping, a lot of dudes in the A had on the Timberlands with the backpack, South Carolina, you name it. That's just what was popping back in the day. But Pimp C is like, I'm from Texas. We don't flip flop or switch up. We've been this way. We been riding candy paint. We've been doing what we do in Texas. Atlanta just blows wherever the wind blows. And that's what he had a problem with. Now y'all some dope boys. Now y'all want to be some Southern rappers. But in 95, shoot, y'all was hip hoppers. We ain't never been no hip hoppers. And y'all fronting and faking for the industry, but that's not real. And for my homie and my partner to be working with y'all, then shit, he must not be trill neither. That's the way I see it. But listen to the pimp.
Okay.
So right now, this is what I'm telling you. Y'all want to get mad at the pimp. Don't get mad at the Bun and don't put the UGK on it. Get mad at the Pimp. This is my opinion. This is me. I'm talking. I'm a man. And I stand up. And let me say this while I'm at it. All them people that was talking about they want to kill 50 Cent, want to do all that to this man. Hey, man, when somebody really wants something to happen to you, it's going to happen to you whether you want it to or not. And I just saw 50 Cent walk off the stage at the BET Awards with no bodyguards right in front of all them dudes that were talking about they was going to slap him when they saw him. And I ain't seen they crunk music and get on the record. They need to shout out to 3-6 Mafia because y'all know that's where that music started at, man. And y'all know for a fact that UGK started the word trio. Y'all know this, man. Y'all know we started this here.
Everybody in Atlanta feels like...
Hold on, y'all. Now, let's run down them Atlanta groups at that time that was just on some crunk madness. You had the Crime Mob with Lil Scrappy and Diamond and Princess, Nuck If You Buck. You would have thought that was 3-6 Mafia. A lot of music coming from the A sounded like from other places of the South. It didn't really have its own original, even back in the day with the booty bass. And your boy, what's the homie name? I'm mad at myself. I don't forgot his name. Now he's an original Atlanta artist. I think it's not Chi Ali, but something Ali. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was real, but that was the only one you had out at the time, man. Somebody let me know what his name was in the comment section. I know it got Ali in there, but let me shut up.
You diss them. They feel this. You need to go back to some real lyrics. And
this the next thing, man. Anytime an artist in Atlanta makes crunk music and get on a record, they need to shout out to 3-6 Mafia because y'all know that's where that music started at, man. And y'all know for a fact that UGK started the word trio. Y'all know this, man. Y'all know we started this here.
Everybody in Atlanta feels like you diss them. They feel this
but if
because
they would read between the lines and hear what I'm telling them, I ain't dissing them. We got to check ourselves before somebody else check us. Because this would have hurt a whole lot more coming from somebody on the East Coast or from the West Coast than coming from one of our forefathers down here.
But then what you saying that we're not even from the South, like Atlanta ain't the South, like, you know, it's a lot of UGK fans that got their feelings hurt today because they really love you.
This is the start of the bullshit, and excuse my language. This is when your opinion can hurt the masses. This is when one person make a statement, everybody's offended. The sensitivity factor really started to kick in around this era, and it had everything to do with these zestified rappers out here, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But everybody can't feel the way you feel. If you're not real, then you can't get mad at somebody for calling you out on you not being real, especially when they have facts. People want to ignore the facts. People do not want the truth. People want to ignore the truths. And when you have a voice of reason, everybody get upset. And to be real, Atlanta ain't the South like that because there's so many people from different places in Atlanta. You got people from the Caribbean. You got people from all over the country. It's a black mecca. It ain't like Dallas or Houston. And there's people from different places that go there too, but them roots is still intact. Ain't no real Atlanta roots intact. Shit, everybody like fried chicken. So the pimp was just being real and speaking the truth. But you hurt our feelings. You hurt us. And when you do stuff like that, it's dangerous because they trying to maintain the status quo. And Pimp got a whole lot of information on a whole lot of dudes in the rap game, and they was not trying to be exposed. And he on the radio, a lot of people felt threatened. Not only is you going to mess up my image, but you're going to mess up my money. And he wasn't only going at Atlanta rappers, New Yorkers, people in his own hometown. One real person can disrupt everything. And just like your boy Kwame Brown, he come out there speaking that real. And just like the homie Kwame Brown be saying, the go along, get along gang is real. And if you against that and you not rolling with the program, you a problem.
To hear what I'm telling them, I ain't dissing them. We got to check ourselves before somebody else check us. Because this would have hurt a whole lot more coming from somebody on the East Coast or from the West Coast than coming from one of our forefathers down here.
But then what you saying that we're not even from the South, like Atlanta ain't the South, like, you know, it's a lot of UGK fans that got their feelings hurt today because they really love you.
Here's the truth of the matter. I love them too. But we got to straighten out the game. And if the statement was made in the wrong context, I apologize about that. But I meant what I was saying. Now, maybe it was heard the wrong kind of way. What I'm saying is this. Hey, man, when I get out the plane, I got to change my watch. Because I live in Texas, and I'm on Central Time.
Okay.
All right?
That's Central.
So that's my opinion. I can have my opinion.
Yeah,
you might
can.
not like my opinion, but that's my opinion.
All right, so everybody running around, they're basically telling Jeezy, because the magazine hasn't hit the stands, that you were pointing him out with the 17-5.
And the Meech talk.
The what?
It says the magazine's making it seem like you pointing out Jeezy with the 17-5 talk, and it says it has something
And
here about
everybody's
Meech.
blowing up Jeezy phone saying that, you know, basically that it's about to be some beef between you and him. So, like, I mean, that's just the talk in Atlanta.
And the Russell
Well,
Simmons.
Let me say this. Let me say this. There's a whole bunch of people lying. So if you want to point fingers at somebody, let's point fingers at everybody. If I was going to diss Young Jeezy, I would have came right out and said his name and dissed him. I'm not scared of no man. And the next thing is this. They need to free Big Meech because it's all circumstantial evidence. And the next thing is this. Everybody was down and everything was cool with BMF before they got busted. Everybody wanted to be down with the play until they got busted. And then when it went sour, then nobody want to fly the flag no more. Am I lying or telling the truth?
I think it's because they ain't want to go to jail, though.
Yeah, but they was down when the party was going on. And
Yo, the realest thing ever. And Jeezy still getting backlash for that. You big BMF dope dealer when Big Meech is free. But now, when everybody get locked up, you ain't got nothing to do with BMF no more. That's the past. I ain't affiliated with Meech. I'm not speaking up on his behalf. I ain't doing none of that no more. And that's the same situation with Bun B. You know, at least he had the free Pimp C shirts on, but that was just about it. Young Jeezy did a whole 360 when BMF got locked up. And like the young lady said, well, you know, he didn't want to go to jail. But you was repping, you was down during the good times. You was there when we was making all that money.
I'm not scared of no man. And the next thing is this. They need to free Big Meech because it's all circumstantial evidence. And the next thing is this. Everybody was down and everything was cool with BMF before they got busted. Everybody wanted to be down with the play until they got busted. And then when it went sour, then nobody want to fly the flag no more. Am I lying or telling the truth?
I think it's because they ain't want to go to jail, though.
Yeah, but they was down when the party was going on and everybody was throwing money in the club. Everybody was still down. So you got to be down in the good time and the bad time. When I went to prison, Bun stayed down with me in the bad time. So when your partner go to prison, you got to stay down in the bad time and the good time. If you was Black Mafia family in the streets, when they was spending all that money in the strip club, you need to be Black Mafia family right now when everybody getting indicted. And let me say it again. If I was going to diss somebody, I'm going to say their name to their face and a fight go with that. So now, I ain't diss Young Jeezy. Because Young Jeezy ain't the only one spitting fake dope prices. I'm dissing everybody lying about selling drugs that ain't touched a nail drug.
All right, what's up with the Russell Simmons comment?
What about it?
I mean, it's basically saying that he's a
Okay.
Now,
That's kind of self-explanatory.
now that's dangerous when you calling people out. Russell Simmons, married with kids at the time, a businessman. This before it was cool to come out. And I ain't saying that I don't know. But according to Pimp C, he was on the low or whatever the case was. Now, people was real sensitive during this time. Because now, if somebody came out, they probably get a check for that. Or they could have a whole lot of support. The support system wasn't really in place like that. Because Obama wasn't the president yet. After Obama, that's when the bomb went off and everybody was just out in the open with it. And you know what? That's cool. People living their truths. I'm not knocking that. But to be exposed then was about 100 times worse than it would be to be exposed now.
It is.
But Pimp, Mr. Pimp C, Basically, do you think, all right, Bun held it down. There were a lot of, quote unquote, fake rappers supporting the UGK movement while you were locked away. Do you think that your comments are going to ruin some of the relationships that Bun B made, since you guys are a group and they look at you as a group?
If these is real people, they won't let my statements affect their relationships with Bun.
Okay.
But I got a lot of relationships with a lot of people I don't respect, I don't like, I don't want to work with. When I get ready to do my album and I'm calling you and calling you and calling you, and you don't call me back, and that means you're not down with helping me get my thing together. But when it's time to do your album, you call me and I had a record back within 24 hours. That means I'm being a real what?
Nigga.
Exactly. So now, guess what? If you want to charge Bun B $50,000 for a verse and then try to come back to me and pay me $1 to get me on your album, guess what you are? You fake and you garbage. If you was a cartoon character on your first album, then you need to be a cartoon character on your last.
But why would they do that though? Why would they even play Pimp C like that? Shouldn't Bun be speaking up for him? Like, yo, how you gonna charge me this much and then you gonna try to play my homie and give him $1? Why Bun even affiliated with these people if they not keeping it real? If they not in support of the homie like that, that's supposed to be your man's. You not riding for this man? And why would you have to ask him, do you think these relationships would affect the relationships that Bun B have with these people? Who gives a... I thought they was a group. I thought they was on a team. That's like who a rap group now? Quavo beefing with Lil Baby, but Offset is doing songs with Lil Baby. Like, what? All that shit y'all talking about and y'all supposed to be a squad, it's all fraudulent. That's like, and I don't mean to hold y'all, but it's just hard for me to understand. How can they be so divided when they supposed to be in a group? That's like if 50 Cent beefing with Rick Ross and Rick Ross got Lloyd Banks on his album. What type of that don't make no sense.
Wow.
Now, let me say this. That's why I'm calling in, to let it be known that things I say don't need to reflect on my brother. He can have a relationship with them dudes all he want to. Because truth of the matter is, if you fake and you abroad and we go to a club somewhere and somebody jump on me, you ain't going to help me fight no way. Yeah. You going to run. I don't need to be friends with you. And the next thing is this. If I ain't never had a personal phone number on you, I got to call your personal assistant to get to you. No flash. You ain't my friend in the first place.
Respect.
I'm down with Outkast, the Goody Mob, the whole Dungeon family. I'm down with Jazzy Faye. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with Lil Jon. I'm down with people that get back in touch with me after I call them, man. And if I'm calling you to do some work, and you don't get back with me, then you abroad. All you gotta do is call me and tell me you don't want to get on the record with me, and that's cool.
Right.
Hey, Pimp, what's up with, the new rappers? They may start to say, well, I have heard people say that you mad because of the new generation is on a whole new movement. What do you have to say about that?
Hold on. That's what she wanted to say. That whole statement was just nothing but shade. What about these new rappers? What new rappers? If y'all calling names the whole interview, be specific about who you talking about. This is just something that's coming out her mouth that she just conjured up in her mind, thinking that, oh, Pimp C mad because he washed up and you got these new rappers out here not giving that man his proper respect and not paying homage to that man, even ask a stupid ass question like that with straight disrespect. And that's what he mean, people in the A feeling themselves because y'all got songs on the radio and stuff. And y'all ain't even keeping it real. Well, you just mad because you ain't lit right now. It ain't about being lit. It's about who's real and who's not. Listen to her stupid ass question, man.
I'm down with people that get back in touch with me after I call them, man. And if I'm calling you to do some work, and you don't get back with me, then you abroad. All you gotta do is call me and tell me you don't want to get on the record with me, and that's cool.
Right.
Hey, Pimp, what's up with, the new rappers? They may start to say, well, I have heard people say that
they might start to say, oh, well, I have heard people say. You ain't heard what they might do and what they already did is two different things.
On the record with me, and that's cool.
Right.
Hey, Pimp, what's up with, the new rappers? They may start to say, well, I have heard people say that you mad because of the new generation is on a whole new movement. What do you have to say about that?
Who are the new rappers?
I guess like
This
a
new
T.I.
rappers, period.
and a Jeezy and all the one-hit wonders out here.
Yeah, there's a
They
lot.
would say
You
because
think T.I.'s a one-hit wonder?
No. We talking about like
the new
Okay,
artists.
new
you
artists.
see how it works?
Yeah.
Now you see how your words can get mixed up? Now you see how somebody can write something and then people take it the wrong way? Now,
He was about 10 steps ahead of her ass. She trying to be slick, and she over there running her mouth talking crazy. Don't know what the hell she talking about. He caught her ass real good. Oh, no, not T.I. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that.
Is on a whole new movement. What do you have to say about that?
Who are the new rappers?
I guess like
This
a
new
T.I.
rappers, period.
and a Jeezy and all the one-hit wonders out here.
Yeah, there's a
They
lot.
would say
You
because
think T.I.'s a one-hit wonder?
No. We talking about like
the new
Okay,
artists.
you see how it works?
Yeah.
Now you see how your words can get mixed up? Now you
Yeah.
see how somebody can write something and then people take it the wrong way? Now do
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's back up. Now, the new rappers, who are they?
Well, since you were away and came out, there's T.I., there's Jeezy, there's Flip, and who else? Tell me names for their rappers.
I mean, the list
Young
goes
Jock,
on.
the list goes
Young
on.
Jock, Dro.
The list goes on, but they're saying that, since you were a part of the old game, that you don't respect the newer rappers on the scene.
I could have swore I was on T.I.'s album explaining what the King of the South was, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could have swore I just did a song with Young Jeezy called the Dickie song that didn't come out. And every time he called me to do something, I did it for free and never charged him no money. I could have swore that after Crime Mob took my freestyle off the Little Chicks mixtape and put it on their album, I didn't even sue them or do nothing to them. I could have sworn that every time I get in an interview, I'm taking up for these dudes when it's some New York dudes or some L.A. dudes trying to diss them. I mean, show me one place where I talk down on Young Jock. Show me one place where I talk down on these dudes in a way to say that they not supposed to be in this game, they not supposed to be getting money. My thing is this. I want us to continue getting money for the next 15 years instead of falling off and letting it go back to the west or to the east because we're not putting no social commentary into the records. And the truth be told is, look, hey, man, if you started being a gangbanger after your first or your second album, you a buster.
See, this is what the pimp didn't realize then, because when all this phony shit started, was that the game ain't gonna go back to the west or the east, because I hate to say this, but a lot of people in the west and the east not about to do that type of music all day, every day, without no social commentary and without nothing to it. Even with gangster rap, they slipping some real shit in there. Or a gangster album, they got some real songs on there with some social commentary that have you thinking like, damn, I don't want to be no gangster. East Coast music, even if they is lit and they rapping about the block, they still got songs about struggle and pain and things that they had to go through. You can't get an East Coast artist to do straight up Laffy Taffy for a whole album with no social commentary. You can't even get a whole lot of dudes in the South to do that. But the go along, get along gang is willing. And you could find a whole lot of that in the A-Town. And that's the reason why the A-Town been on the top for the longest. All boy colleges and schools and stuff. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, when it comes to the culture of rap, who gonna shine their shoes the best and who can make the clickety-clack sound better? Who gonna shuck and jive and do a better dance? All these ringtone rappers with their new lit dances. This Pimp C was trying to prevent this from happening before it even happened. He was trying to stop it. He seen where it was going. And now that he ain't here no more, man, the game is lost. But he tried, though. I salute you, Pimp, because you put everything on the line to get hip hop back on track. And that's why I asked, did Bun B sacrifice this man for the music industry? And I ain't saying he killed him. I'm not saying he drugged them. I ain't saying he had nothing to do with this man's death. But when you don't stand by somebody, when they in the war, you abandon ship and you know they shooting shots and you ain't got nothing to say. You ain't take his side. You ain't have his back. Let's just hypothetically say it was a sacrifice. They'd be like, well, shit, if you got to get Pimp C, we're going to have to get Bun B too. And that's going to be an impossible cover up because they ain't at the same place at the same time every time. And if they both just so happen to pass away around the same time, that's going to look real suspicious. But since this man on the island all by his goddamn self, then we can get him no problem. And Bun ain't gonna have nothing to say about it. When we ask Bun about it, he goes, oh, it was an OD. He was overweight. He weighed like 500 pounds and he wore a XXX shirt and he didn't work out when he was in jail. So that's what contributed to his passing. I'm just saying, y'all. Let me get back to this.
Get money. My thing is this. I want us to continue getting money for the next 15 years instead of falling off and letting it go back to the west or to the east because we're not putting no social commentary into the records. And the truth be told is, and you read every statement I made in there, and if you find a place in there where I lied about somebody, you research it. Y'all give me a call back and I clarify what I meant.
There it is, Pimp.
Now guess what? Now let me say this, and I want it to be clear. I'm not apologizing for what I said. I'm clarifying what I meant by what I said.
Correct.
We all know Atlanta the South. We got to start acting like it's the South. And we got to start having some pride like it's the South. And let me say this, y'all might not like this, because a lot of people don't like stuff. But ATL is considered to be the gay capital of the world right now. And y'all got clubs over there with boys standing in the parking lot kissing on the mouth. And you know, if you're gay and you're out of the closet, that's cool because everybody, it was a bunch of things I could have said about a bunch of people and I could have really dissed and hurt some feelings. Now, don't you know that?
Yes, sir.
Because I know who the gay rappers is. I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow.
So
Do you
now,
feel like expressing it right now?
Yeah,
Go ahead, no.
Say this again.
If you feel like saying it, go ahead.
Say this again. I'm proud of all the rappers in the South. I'm proud of everybody selling records in Atlanta. But everybody ain't my friend, and I don't like all y'all records. Now, if you want to diss me and get on with me, go on and do it. But the difference between me and them other dudes is this. You going to diss me, and I'm going to come see you, Jack. You going to diss them other dudes, and they going to play lip wrestling with you. So if you want it, man, come on with it. If you want it with me, come on with it. Leave Bun out of it, and we going to see in the end, because you going to smell my cologne, Insimiyaki, on some Bond number 9, because I do not play.
That's same one I wear.
Tabernacle, sanctuary, because we keep God first in everything we do.
Hey, Pimp.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind expressing any of those rappers you was talking about? Them sugar sausages?
Man.
I want to know. Them
Fruity ass trying to get this man caught up. Trying to get him caught. He trying to end the conversation. Already done said too much. And they egging him on. Come on, Pimp. Say a name. Say one. Mention one more of them. As if he ain't already say enough, man. They ain't had his man best interest at heart. He trying to be real with y'all and have real conversation. The whole interview, y'all derailing him into some sucker shit. That ain't got nothing to do with what he trying to say. Well, what if they say you a hater? Ain't nobody said nothing. He trying to speak his truth and keep it moving. It's these interviewers that derail you into saying some unnecessary stuff, man. And Pimp was smart. He said what he wanted to say, but they was trying to, the way they narrated it made it seem like it was 10 times worse than what he was trying to get across.
Gay rappers you know about?
Nah, man, it's no need to embarrass nobody that ain't done nothing to us.
Respect.
But if you're gay, man, and you're ashamed of it, you need to stop doing stuff you're ashamed of. Anything done in the dark gonna come to the light. I ain't gotta expose them, because they exposing themselves every day and every night.
They sure are.
But see, you work at a radio station, and it's your job to ask me that question. And me being a real person, it's my job to know how to answer it, ain't it?
You already
What's
know.
up? All right, Pimp.
Okay, so if you're gay and you rap and you ain't and you stand in the closet, then you need to come on out of the closet and let us know who you is. Because if you ain't proud of what you do, then don't do it. And if anything you're ashamed of, you shouldn't be doing it. You know who's getting caught in the Range Rover with the boy. You know what's going on in Atlanta, just like I know. You know who got caught in the Range Rover with the boy. Okay?
No, I don't really.
Okay,
Nice,
you know.
crazy.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if I know you know, because you in Atlanta.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So he just exposed Mace, the pastor, rapper, allegedly in the Range Rover with the boy. They caught his ass. Police, woo, woo, opened up the door. Chitey whiteys everywhere, allegedly. Now, Mace ain't want that to get out. If you know about Mason, you put him out there. What about Eddie Long at the time? These pastors were scared. He said what on the radio? What else do he know? I wonder if he know about me. People started getting paranoid. What if he do another interview? What if he get mad one day and he sipping lean too? He like to drink and smoke, and he outspoken. Ain't no telling what he gonna say next. How far is this gonna go? What's the potential of how many people is gonna get exposed?
Let us know who you is. Because if you ain't proud of what you do, then don't do it. And if anything you're ashamed of, you shouldn't be doing it. You know who's getting caught in the Range Rover with the boy. You know what's going on in Atlanta, just like I know. You know who got caught in the Range Rover with the boy. Okay?
No, I don't really.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I know, you know, because you in Atlanta.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
So let me say this. All the real street people in Atlanta and all the hardcore UGK fans, I hope I have clarified what I meant by that statement.
All right, that's
Anybody else that don't like me or still want to hate on me, come on with it.
I think
you don't want it with me.
I think in all, your fans in Atlanta just still want to know that you love them. That's all.
Hey man, guess what? I used to live in Atlanta. If I wasn't on parole, I would still live in Atlanta, and I still would have made them statements. And I'm coming back to Atlanta as soon as somebody booked me a ticket to come there and do a show.
We tried to get you to come last night.
Rest in peace, Pimp C. But I used to live in Atlanta, and I would still be in Atlanta, and if somebody had booked me back to... Too much pimping, man. Too much pimping. He must have was holding the pimp cup the whole time with that same mink on. I used to live in Atlanta, and if I was back, I'd smack a bitch tonight.
I hope I have clarified what I meant by that statement.
All right, that's
Anybody else that don't like me or still want to hate on me, come on with it.
I think I think in all, your fans in Atlanta just still want to know that you love them. That's all.
Hey man, guess what? I used to live in Atlanta. If I wasn't on parole, I would still live in Atlanta, and I still would have made them statements. And I'm coming back to Atlanta as soon as somebody booked me a ticket to come there and do a show.
We tried to get you to come last night.
I had a blowout in the rain and had to change the tire myself.
Oh, damn.
If you have a blowout and you got both your kids in the back seat and your wife driving, is you going to jump in another car and lead them on the side of the road to go catch an airplane?
Oh, my God. Pimp C got caught out in the rain with the mink coat on, changing tires. Hammer them damn wrenches. Y'all children, shut up back there. Let daddy fix these tires. Wait a minute, baby. Almost done. Might take me somewhere so I can get me some new clothes.
Nah. I didn't think you would. So you know what? When that rain was coming down and we had that blowout in that Lexus and both my babies was in the back seat, I had to get out there and change that myself. Because I didn't have time to call nobody else to do it, and I was not going to leave my family on the side of the road. And anybody don't like that can eat 7,000 wee-wees and die.
There it is.
So if you don't like that, and you don't understand that, then you don't have no understanding about life. And anybody that puts this rap game or their job or anything ahead of their family or God, well, you know what? Shame on you. And guess what? Part 2 of my article is coming out next month in Ozone. So get ready to get your jaws tight again.
Can we expect to hear from you again next month, Issue?
You can hear from me anytime you want.
Okay, I needed y'all to hear that. Rest in peace to the beautiful brother Pimp C, man. And I made this video because when he was talking all that real talk, it wasn't not one other rapper, not one, to stand by this man. It wasn't nobody that said, you know what, I agree with Pimp C. What he's saying is real. We need to stop all this and start making some real music. It's a lot of fake stuff going on out here. Nobody stood with this man. And if somebody would have stood with him, then I believe he would still be here. Because it's a lot of people that feel like this. So it ain't just him. Why we going to target him when he ain't the only one? If we target him, we going to have to target so-and-so. And if we target so-and-so, the other person said he agreed with it. A whole nother rap group said they agreed with it. A couple of black actors came out and said they agreed with Pimp C. They standing united on this one. So it ain't like we just got to weave out that one bad apple. And if anybody should have stood with this man, it had to be Bun B. But it wasn't, though. Bun ain't do that. And I know you can't cry over spilled milk, and this is the past, but it's affecting our future, and that's why I felt like it's necessary to make this video. And Bun B, man, I love you to death. You got a family. You out here doing your thing, brother. Keep on living your life. I ain't saying that you killed. I would never say nothing ridiculous like that you killed Pimp C. All I'm saying is, man, you sacrificed that man's character. You should have rode with that man. He needed somebody to ride with him. And y'all supposed to be the illable, gillable, willable, killer, gorilla, the filler. You remember how you used to rap? All that gangster shit. But you know what? That's Negro here nor there, man. Rest in peace to the pimp. And y'all gonna have to let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. I got so much love for y'all. And I know y'all ain't hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, but at least hit that Cash App, $ Sean Blaze Docs. And for y'all women out there looking at the video, you like, oh man, this is dangerous territory. Why is this man speaking on stuff like this? If Pimp C allegedly got for talking about this, why would he even make a video about this? First of all, I ain't saying nobody did nothing. This is just good conversation. And just in case you ain't seen none of my videos, you know I risk my life to give y'all these documentations. What, you ain't hear me? I said, Oh, I played myself.
Risk my life to give you documentation.
Ooh, that intro was bootleg. I gotta talk to you. Oh, that outro was terrible. That ruined the whole motherfucking video. I was about to make a clean exit. Rewind, let me run that back. All you fine ass ladies out there concerned about me, wondering why I be doing these videos talking about these celebrities, and y'all know them celebrities don't like nobody talking about them. Bun B acting like a teddy bear. Call him Bun Bear. I ain't worried about his ass. And you want to know why? Because I risk my life.
Risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl.
Sean got the jocks. I'm keeping it funky like some socks. Ponytail with the box, and my cell phone look like a box. Try not to get shell shocked when I start busting out the docs. I got secret videotapes